Hey, what's up, guys? And this morning I wanted to give you one more update on this major blizzard that will be affecting the Midwest up into the Great Lakes and possibly even the Northeast now. It does look like there might be a reformation off the Northeast coast that will bring some snow to the interior Northeast. Anyway, let's get into it. Also, if you like this video, hit the like button, and if you like the weather, please subscribe. So here's your storm. This is going to get going today and last into tomorrow, and the Northeast into tomorrow night. So, if you take this showing, let's get it going. And you can see around 6 o'clock tonight, you have a 989 millibar low pressure system bringing blizzard conditions into the upper Midwest, into the north. And this will continue to move northeastward and then move into the Great Lakes. And then you can see that, like right out here, 992, along these Great Lake regions, you have extremely heavy snowfall falling, and it's going to be very cold. So it's going to be falling at about a 15-to-1 ratio. So that means for every 1 inch of rain, you're going to get 15 inches of snow, which it typically is 10-to-1, but when it's a lot colder, you can get 15-to-1, and when it's a lot warmer, you can get 5-to-1. But it's going to be very cold in this situation, so it's going to be a very dry, light, and fluffy snow. Great for sledding, but you won't be able to really make anything out of it, like snowballs. Anyway, this continues to move through, and then you can see you have some back-end snowfall, but this is going to be very, very lake-enhanced snowfall on this backside. It's going to be a lot heavier than it looks here. So you can pick up additional, I'd say almost 3 to 6 inches from this back-end snowfall that will be very lake-enhanced. And then you continue to move this through. You see that snow sticks around in the back pretty far, and then it kind of brings lines of storm into the mid-Atlantic, all the way down to the southeast, and then it kind of moves forward, and you can see you get a low-pressure system forming right off the coast of Maryland and Delaware, and then that almost moves right up into the northeast, almost like a classic nor'easter, except it's not quite cold enough, but you do have some snowfall falling into the very interior northeast, even making it to the coast in Long Island. So we're going to continue to watch this. This is 2 days away, but it's looking like a situation like this could play out here. But you see you have a 987 millibar low pressure system, which is a very strong system, and you don't typically get this time of year, but when you do, they're typically strong, and this has been showing up in models for a couple of days now, so we're going to continue to watch this over tonight, and then tomorrow it's the day that it will happen, so we'll have a whole more details, but the interior northeast into Maine could be dealing with a snowstorm come tomorrow night, and it's looking very likely at this point. Let's take a look at the Euro model. So this is the Euro model currently. Move this through, and you can see the only difference really is that the snow is not quite as heavy, and the storms don't really get quite as strong. You get to a 990, and you can just see that the snow overall doesn't look very strong. Up here in Canada it does, but this back-end snow doesn't look as strong on the Euro, and you can see in some areas there's not even any back-end snow at all. I think there will be. I think the GFS is too aggressive, but I think the Euro is not picking up on that back-end lake-enhanced snow like the GFS is. And then you continue to move this eastward. You have that line of storms developing just like the GFS, and then you do have that low-pressure system, but again, not as strong, and doesn't really bring too much snow to the northeast. Really only a little bit, and then it continues to move eastward. So the differences between the GFS and the Euro at this point is that the Euro overall isn't as strong as the GFS, and we see that a lot. The GFS is typically more strong, but we don't really see that too much when it's the day of the storm, so this one is a little bit of a weird one, but I don't know if I believe the GFS for the northeast storm. I think there might be a low pressure system that develops, but I don't know if it will be quite as strong as the GFS. I think it might be something like the Euro says, but I do think the Euro underdoes the back-end snow with the lake enhanced. But the NAM model is in range, so it's a great model to look at. The 12Z is out, so we can look at that. This is your current model radar, and you continue to move this eastward, and you can see it's kind of like the Euro, except it does have that lake enhanced snow pretty much everywhere. as in the Euro, we have the big gap there in Michigan, but then in Illinois, but then you continue to move this eastward. And does it have that thing? No. So the NAM doesn't have that northeast storm at all, really. It brings barely even a lot of storms, and moves out and becomes a low pressure system way off into the coast. So I think that the northeast one is going to be almost like a nowcast, really. It's kind of strange for this far out or this close, but at this point, we don't really know quite what's going to happen with it. But I think we might get a low pressure system that develops. I like the Euro at this point, but do what you will with that information. So let's take a look at the snowfall amounts, and we'll take a look at all three of them, and then take a look at the combined in average. So you can see that it's dropping a little bit more snowfall here in the beginning of the storm, really hammering this area up to 1.5 feet, widespread over a foot, and that right here in purple, you're looking at 6 to 10. And then it continues to move eastward, and let's make sure this is all in range. And yes, so then you bring widespread 8 to 10 inches here into the Great Lakes, and that back end snow, you're getting about 2 to 3 inches here. So, and then you can see in Canada, it just bombed out and drops over 2 feet of snow. But the northeast, you can see it does drop 6 to 8 inches in that one little purple area, and the blue is all 2 to 5. So that's just definitely going to be something to watch. And you can see into the mountain regions here, you have up to 5 inches. The Euro model likes that situation where it's not quite as strong, and you can see where it's dropping 1.5 feet on the GFS. It's only dropping 8 to 10, and this is happening currently. So, if you guys live in that area, let me know how much you get, and I would be really curious to know. And you can see in the northeast, it has absolutely nothing. So let's take a look at the combined data for all all the models combined, and you can see it is showing a little bit of a mean into the northeast, about a 1 inch mean, 2 inch mean, but that's not really that impressive. So you might be able to get up 1 to 2 inches in the northeast, but don't really expect anything too big. And you can see the average is closer to a foot. So I think the Euro is a little bit less strong, and I think it's going to be somewhat in between the GFS and the Euro. Other than that, it looks to be pretty active in the coming weeks, so we'll continue to have videos for you guys.